Hey everyone, we are back with Seeds of Success. I am Orly and we have Dottie. Dottie, how are you doing today?
I am great, Orly, and I'm very excited about what we're going to talk about today.
I'm excited too. And I gotta try to sound a little more excited because I don't know, like this is probably a word comparison, but you ever been when you're a kid and you're like on a tire swing and you're swinging fast and you feel like you're flying, but then you get off and or you're watching somebody else do it and it's not going very fast. Well, lately I feel like I'm always so excited, but I listened to one of the seeds a couple weeks ago and I sounded very like, hey, Dottie, how's it going? I'm like, oh my gosh, do I sound like that all the time? So I'm like, I feel like I sound exciting, but that episode I didn't. So I'm like, I'm going to really go overboard this week. So people, if I sound extra happy, I'm always happy, but if I sound extra happy,
That's
it's because
right.
I gotta try a little harder. But yeah, today's episode is Christmas in July, and I think it's never too early for Christmas. I think I mentioned to you last year. I made a little, not a bet, but I did a little thing with my kids, and I said the first snow of the year, we're gonna set up the Christmas tree. That's our new tradition. We set it up in October.
Oh my gosh.
So it's never too early for Christmas. And today we're talking Christmas in July, and not necessarily maybe what you think we're going to talk about, but Dottie, why don't you go into it a little bit?
Well, first of all, I am the biggest Hallmark Channel um, uh, freak. And we are right in the middle of Christmas in July on the Hallmark Channel. The only thing is where I'm located, the temperatures are hot. So probably before we started doing today's podcast, I should have cranked down the air conditioner if we're going to do Christmas in July. But anyway, uh, you know, Christmas in July, there's a lot that we could be doing right now that we should be doing right now to plan for a successful Christmas.
Yeah,
Um, Personally, I'm starting my Christmas shopping, so that's exciting to me. I
it's a
always
great
say I'm going
feeling
to
to
be
be
done.
done. Yeah, it's a great feeling to be done earlier. Like you hear everybody else rushing last minute, you're like, I'm already done. So yeah, like you said, it's never too early.
Exactly. And so in our business, we need to have the same type of planning in place. We need to be looking at what can we do now? What should we be doing now so that we have a very successful holiday season? And a holiday season in a bowling center, of course, there's companies that are looking for unique venues to be able to bring their staff out. And there's also families that are coming in from out of town and they're looking for a place for everybody to be able to get together and for everybody to have something that they can enjoy. And what better place to do that than in a bowling center, right? Or a family entertainment center.
Yeah, it's never too early. It's for instance, I live in an area where it snows a lot, and not everybody stays open through the winter. So if you are going to stay open, that's something I'm sure most bowling centers do. But I mean, if you are a business and you stay open through the winter in a place where not everybody stays open for the winter, it's definitely something that you want to let people know. Hey, start preparing for your Christmas parties. We're going to be open. We're available.
Yeah. So Orly, I'm sure that our listeners are saying, okay, what type planning are you talking about? Well, it's really for you to come up with the concept of what you want that experience to be, and a lot is involved in that. So, what am I going to serve? What am I going to serve my corporate clients that are coming in that are treating their office to a nice buffet or meal or and an outing with their colleagues to celebrate the holidays.
Yeah.
So this is the time where you want to get with your food brokers and your food vendor and discuss what's out there, what's new, what's trending, what can I do based on the equipment that I have in my facility. Um, what what does it taste like? I know, Cisco is a BPAA Smart Buy partner, and they are super about having food shows. And I know I was very uh, mindful of the show that they had for this specific reason to showcase different things that you could offer for holiday parties. So get with your Cisco rep or your whoever you use for food. talk to them about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Look at the price point you want to stay in. Look at what's trending, what you can provide, and start down that road, right?
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that goes along with that is presentation. How are you going to present the food to these companies that come in? Are you going to do a self-serve buffet? If so, what is your dressing? What is your setup of your table going to look like? Because all of that's very important, right? If
Yeah.
you pay attention to all of those details, and you have a table that looks inviting, that has everything in its place and is coordinated, and the food is great, people are willing to pay for that type of experience. And if you start planning now, right, Orly,
Yeah.
you
No,
can
like,
make those things
yeah,
happen.
never too early, because you got to think about it. I mean, you've probably had this happen before. Somebody will come in your center and like, hey, what kind of parties do you do here? Or how much is your room to rent? Because I'm doing something next year in June. Like, it could be a year out, people are asking. And if you think about it, Christmas isn't too far away. And you could kind of seal the deal, I feel, if you know already your options for the most part. Like, let's say you've already decided you're gonna do, turkey, or this dessert, and somebody comes in, during the summer, and they're like, hey, I want to have a Christmas party. I was looking at a few places. What are you guys offering here? And if you say, well, we're not quite sure yet, they might move on to somewhere else. Where if you say, oh, we're doing turkey, this, and this, they might say, oh, that sounds great. Actually, okay, yeah, can you put us down to do a party? You know what I mean? You might be able to seal the deal if you're already set up and planned, because you don't want to seem like you're not prepared yet.
Right. And that is a super valid point, Orly. When someone comes in and they're looking to book an event at your place, if you don't have something that is organized and ready to go to present to them, they don't they perceive that as, gosh, they're not very organized. And that
Yeah,
comes across as the wrong message. So
exactly.
that's why we're having this show today of Christmas in July. So the one thing you need to mark off your list is, what am I going to serve my corporate clients? What am I going to serve my families that come in? Because those are probably going to be two different menus, right? So you want to get with your brokers, you want to get with your distributors, you want to figure out what that's going to be. You want to figure out how you're going to present it. What containers do I need? How am I going to present it? You want to get with those that are going to prepare it. Got
Yeah,
to make sure they know how to prepare it, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Um, and then you want to put that together in a way that it's appealing, right? You want to make sure that the wording is inviting. They know exactly what they're going to get. And that's just the food part of it, right?
yeah,
Now you've got the experience part of it.
yeah,
So what are you going to be able to offer them? And some of the things that you have at your fingertips, um, remember that the customer doesn't know about them. So you have to put that program together. Maybe you're going to have, for your office parties, you're going to feature U-tunes, for example, and you're going to really work on the experience of them taking their pictures at the console. And maybe you have a contest on the coolest expression, facial expression, or whatever. Or maybe you're going to use Lucky Train to help that company give away door prizes, right? Those are all things that you need to feature that when you're promoting what you're going to do for your companies, or when you're promoting what you're going to do for your families that have want to come out and bring their family out during the holidays, because those are things that are unique. They're things that make that experience extra special, and you can't just expect your customers to automatically know about them. You have to focus on that and
yeah.
share
I
with them
agree.
what you can do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's people that come in all the time and they don't even know. Even, I mean, you could be pushing it on social media or posting it on your screens inside your center, but sometimes you still gonna have people that just don't know what you offer. There's many times where I say like, oh, we have in our party room. Oh, you have party rooms, and I'm like thinking in my head like, I post about them all the time. But yeah, so if you have that information, if you could like share, spread the word about your party rooms, about your corporate parties, about all the different things you have to offer. I think if like you said, if you're ready and ready early, it's definitely going to make a huge difference.
And Orly, you and I had a conversation before we started with today's podcast about partnering with others in your community and how important networking is, and how important relationships are in this industry and really in any small business. But when you're putting your holiday parties together, keep in mind other things that you can do, other things that you can do to enhance that experience. You want to make every customer that walks out of your center um, walk out and just in amazement of how cool that was, and what a great time they had. So if that is bringing in a face painter, or maybe you have one of your bowlers that's a face painter, if you're
Yeah.
going to have some family Christmas parties that you're going to be hosting, um, maybe you have a face painter that comes in, or maybe you schedule Santa Claus to come in,
Yeah. That's
from
always a big
2 to 5. um, and a lot of times, those people that do it from the heart will simply do it for an hour or two of free bowling with their family. So think about exactly what you want that experience to include. Definitely make sure that you are thinking it through and you're putting it in a nice marketing piece that's easy to read and is inviting. It's not confusing. They don't have to think. They can say, oh my gosh, that right there is exactly what I want. And they point to it. It needs to be as simple and as straightforward as that, but it also needs to show your uniqueness.
Yeah, people like easy. There's times where I've mentioned, we could do this, 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 and this, or we have this package right here. Oh, that's easier. I'll just take it. They sometimes don't even, well, that's a little more than if you want to do. No, it's okay. I want that package. It's done and easy, and that's all I have to do. Okay, we'll let you do everything. So yeah, as long as you show them everything right in front of them, they're going to be excited for it.
Yeah. And the last thing that you can be doing right now to prepare, for the holiday parties is to plan your marketing approach. So if you have, an inside sales team, or if you have even an event coordinator, you don't have to have a huge staff to aggressively market and solicit your holiday parties. I will say that there are some companies and some people that never even think about calling a bowling center to have a holiday party.
Yeah.
But when you call them and you say, hey, I'm Orly, and I just wanted to share with you our 2023 holiday programs that we have for our companies. And they're like, oh my gosh, I never thought about that. So it's your job to come up with your approach. Do you have a chamber of commerce that you belong to that has a list of all those companies? If so, come up with a plan. Come up with a way to reach out to them and share with them what you're going to offer for the holidays. A lot of times, larger uh, areas have business journals, and those business journals have different books of lists that are available by different types of employers and things along those lines. So there's all kinds of ways to and you know what? Just go up and down the streets and make a list. It's can be that simple. But have someone that is responsible for reaching out to businesses in the area and letting them know what you're going to have available. We used to do 20 touches, and you can alter that. But, just make sure that your event coordinator reaches out and at least 20 people. That's not a very
That's not
big
much.
task, right? 20 people, reach out, let them know what you've got, introduce yourself. Doesn't have to be high pressure. Um, Offer to send them what your brochure is or your flyer is for this year, and start that relationship. Sales is all about relationships,
Yeah.
Orly, and you and I are firm believers in that. And so that's something that you can start putting those relationships in place and start getting your target audience in place and start finding the right person on your staff that's energetic, that can basically strike up a conversation with someone on the other end of a phone and develop a relationship with that person.
Yeah, and when they're having fun doing it, it's not a salesy thing, you know. As long as they're having fun talking about the center that you would hope they believe in, that they work for, it's just going to come natural. I do that all the time. I'll be talking about something. Oh, we just started selling this, and I'm not trying to even promote it. I'm just talking about it. Next thing you know, they're like, I'll take one. I'm like, take one. They're like, yeah, the thing you were just talking about. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so as long as you're just having fun with it and you're spreading the word about it, yeah, it's going to make it a lot
And
easier.
that's a big part of it right there, Orly, is it's the way you look at it, right? You've got to, number one, you have to believe in what you are talking about, and you have to in your heart, you have to know that the experience that you are delivering your customer is going to blow them away. And you have to believe that wholeheartedly. And when you believe in something and you're talking about it, it's very easy for people to see that passion, and they get caught up in it. It's contagious, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at it as I'm getting the opportunity to bring in someone to the center that I work at and help them create a memory with their family or create a memory with their colleagues, and you look at it that way instead of I'm selling them a Christmas party, whew, there's a big difference in how you carry on a conversation with the person on the other end of the phone.
Yeah, I agree.
So get that sales mindset out of your mind. I've worked with many centers on selling of their corporate events and their birthday parties and so on and so forth. And when you get the mindset of the person that's going to be handling your parties changed, instead of them thinking at it of I have a sales role in this organization, to I get to make relationships all day long and help people make memories. There's a big difference. You
Yeah.
can see their facial expression change. And when they're talking on the phone and you're looking at them, you can see that smile reflects in their tone of voice. You
Yeah.
can't tell me otherwise. You
Yeah.
don't have to see me, viewer or listeners. You can probably tell that Orly and I love what we do, and it's easy. I'm smiling, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't reflect in my voice, then by golly, I think we need to clean our ears out because
Yeah, they say
I
you
get
can hear a
excited.
smile. So you can definitely hear
Yeah,
a smile, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, with that being said, I think it's time to put on our Christmas hats and break out the eggnog and start planning for Christmas. I'm actually gonna go buy myself a gift right now because I'm so excited about Christmas.
Okay. Well, while you're at it, don't forget your sidekick over
All
here.
right, I got you covered.
Listeners, we have thoroughly enjoyed Christmas in July is one of my favorite times. And yeah, part of it is because I really like watching those Hallmark movies. But we hope that you will apply these little seeds that we have dropped today, because I guarantee you, if you start now and you plant these seeds and you water them, you are going to have a very successful holiday season. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and we will see you next time on another episode of Seeds of Success.